Hello General Maths. I just thought I'd make a quick video to help look at some of the settings for your calculator in case you've forgotten about. Okay. Now, one of the things that may or may not happen as you enter into your exam is your calculator is going to get reset. Okay. So here is the method for resetting it. Okay. Press Shift, then press 9. See how it says CLR, Shift, so clear. Okay, and then we're going to clear all, and I'll say yes, and go equals. Okay, and that resets like the whole calculator back to like normal. Okay, so if you're unsure, like it's doing something weird, okay, that's a nice quick way to get it back to being all nice and fresh. Okay, so that was Shift, 9, clear all, done. Okay, now one thing you want to make sure is that it has a little D up the top here. Okay. If it doesn't have that little D, then you're not measuring angles in degrees, and so any measurements that you do with degrees will be wrong. Okay, so make sure that says D up the top. Okay, you can fix it by resetting your calculator, or if you go into setup, so Shift setup. Okay, one of the options here is degrees 3, so you can just hit that. Okay, next one, stat. We should be pretty good with doing statistics, but just as a refresher, if you go press mode. Okay, and then you go into stat mode, pressing number 2. Okay, the only two options we're going to use is 1 var, okay, if you've got one list of data, and 2, which is if you've got two lists of data and you want to find like correlation and the line of best fit and that kind of stuff. Okay, so if I go into number 2, okay, I get two lists of data. Okay, I can go and put in some data. Okay, using arrows, should be pretty good at this, hopefully. Okay. And if I go and do that, once I've put in my list of data, I'll go home by pressing the AC button, and then I'll press Shift, Stat, and then I get presented with a whole heap of options. If you want things to do with the, what's it called, mean and that kind of standard deviation, they're all in variance in number 4. Okay, so if I go into 4, you can see we've got standard deviation of X, standard deviation of Y, the mean of X, the mean of Y. So if I press 2, it'll tell me what the mean of Y, X is. If I go back into stat, if I want anything to do with comparing the two together, that's the regression, so number 5. And that will give me like correlation coefficient, and it will give me A and B. So I can press 1 and get what A is. Okay, I can go back in and I can get what B is. There we go. Okay. If I forget what order A and B go in, like remember you've got to write it as an equations, okay? If I forget what order it goes in, I press mode, and then I go back into stat, and look, number 2, it tells you what order the A and B go in. It's A plus B X, okay? As long as that B number goes with the X, then you're good to go, okay? So if another thing is, I'm going to stuff this now, haven't I? Okay, if by some chance I needed to find out stuff like Q3 and that kind of stuff. Okay, if I go back into stats, in the min-max option, okay, I can find the min and the max. Okay, if I had one list of data, it would also give me options for median and Q3 and that kind of stuff, and the quartiles. Cool. Now, if you stay in stat mode, okay, see how it says stat up the top, okay, anytime you press that fraction button, it's going to look really weird, okay? Which is going to be a problem if you're trying to use the annuities formula. It's not going to really look very nice. So to get out of that, go back, press mode, press 1 for comp, okay? And now anytime you press the fraction button, it looks nice. Yep. Okay. And if you do get an answer as a fraction, okay, remember this SD button can flick between fraction and decimal, okay? And if you actually want to flick between, so if I had like 1.25, okay, the decimal, the fraction it'll give is an improper. If I wanted to turn that into a mixed number, see above it, it's in yellow, I can press Shift and then the fraction button, and it will flick it to a mixed number. It's kind of fancy. All right, now last one, which is kind of important, is to do with this degrees button here, degrees, minutes, and second. Okay, so let's say, for example, you had a place that was located at 2 degrees and 3 minutes north, okay? And you wanted to know what that was in decimal degrees. Well, I'm going to press, okay, actually write that down. What if I had, okay, 2 degrees, 3 minutes north, okay? Well, I can get the calculator to tell me what it is in decimal degrees. I just press 2, the degrees button, which is here, and then I'll press 3 and press it again, and it will look like degrees, but it knows that it's the minutes because it's the next symbol along. And then I just press equals. And look, it goes, oh, you meant 2 degrees, 3 minutes. And just like our fraction decimal button, if I press the degrees button again, it will flip it between decimal and degrees minute format. How cool is that? Okay, so very nice. So 2 degrees, 3 minutes is 2.05 degrees. Okay, another useful use for our degrees minutes button, okay, is if I needed to find the difference between two places. So 2 degrees, 3 minutes north, take away 1 degree, 5 minutes north, okay? So I'm finding the angle between both of those places, okay? That's better. I'm just going to put it in. Press 2 degrees, 3 minutes, take away 1 degree, 5 minutes. Press equals, and there we go. The distance between them is 58 minutes. And if I wanted that as a decimal, there it is, okay? You can also use that when you're doing your cos. So if I had to do like 111.2 times 10 times cos of something, say it was the latitude they were on was 10 degrees, 5 minutes north, I could put it in like that and it would still like it. It would do it fine, okay? If the answer came out, let's try and make it do it. Okay, no, it's not going to like that. 7. Okay, if the answer came out and it had the degrees symbol in the answer, okay, you just need to flick that, press that degrees button again to flick it to a decimal. Okay, so that is some little tricks with the calculator in case you've forgotten. Good luck.